Alright guys, here we are on a new video. In this video we're gonna cover basically everything's gonna happen for 30.0. This is applicable for every big season that we kinda get, so this video is repeatable in relevance. I'm trying to make it as universal as possible so that it stays relevant for a long time. But basically, as of right now, we're going to be getting patch 30.0 tomorrow, basically in the morning, tomorrow at 10. So today it's 6 in the morning, so I'm very early because I want this video out as soon as possible because it's only going to be relevant right now, today basically. Then the patch will hit, and then every time a big season is gonna be happening, this video will be relevant again. Now this video is gonna cover everything that you should want to do before the patch comes, because there's quite a few changes coming and currencies expiring and alternatives being given, etc. So you might wanna pay attention to some of these things to make the most of it that you will take into the new update patch. I'm using the patch notes that are written in Russian because on EU there's never these patch notes, but on Russia they publish the patch notes. What exactly changes every time a new big patch happens. Now, for people that want to read, I'll put the link in the description. You can follow it there yourself with some additional info about what this patch is going to bring, so I advise you to read it, but this is only relevant for people that are going into 13.0. I'm assuming if this video is going to be still out there for 14.0, if that's even a thing, hello future me, then this video will be still relevant, except for things you'll notice probably yourself. To begin, they're going to be removing enchanted matter, which is basically these kind of things. They'll be irrelevant. I don't think they're gonna remove them, they'll just leave them as they are, but they'll be useless to do. What's the best use to do for them before the big patch? Really nothing. I would say sell them here for the coins of free traders, for the Negotiant Trader, but even these will be reset, so there's really nothing you can use these for the next patch. There's nothing useful to do. Everything in here is basically bound to your current season. Amalgam will become faded amalgam. Useless becomes useless because amalgam has been useless all this time. Desert tool designs are going to be updated as well, so these are useless too. These are required to make tools with your profession, as you can see here. But so these will change. Tools are going to change as well. We will get to there in a bit. Everything else in this vendor is going to be irrelevant as well. Dust will be irrelevant as it always has been as well. Generation transforming crystals are going to be useless because they are resetting the levels of the generation for people with Astral and having a ship, etc. It's going to remain relevant as a thing, but these levels are going to be useless, so there's nothing really useful to get this from. So everything in Negotiant Trader is going to be useless. Everything from matters, etc. is useless. You can just toss it all out. Enchanted charts as well are going to be useless. Now it's all useless for me already because, as people probably know already, we have been delayed our patch for a month now. So we're now 4 months difference opposed to the normal 3 months gap we had from RU. So we had a lot of time to finish off our gear, and I'm full tier 2, tier 3. So upgrading materials are just completely useless for me right now. What else will change? So enchanted pollen, which is basically the dust, everything that basically is explained here is going to be irrelevant and useless. Same for Realgar. Now for Realgar, this is a pretty important point. You want to try to buy what you can still buy. Now today is Wednesday. The patch will happen tomorrow at 10 in the morning. That means that the reset at 4 o'clock will happen for the weekly reset. So for the early birds that manage to get on the game still before 10 o'clock on a Thursday, they can still log in and do their weeklies. Do some weekly stuff real fast that others wouldn't get otherwise. For example, observatory bosses that you could solo, go and solo them. We're going to get Realgar, so this is the point that I'm also mentioning. Realgar will be reset. Now for people that are paying pay to play, I don't think this is affecting for free to play as much. People paying pay to play, you want to check what you still can buy here for stats, rubies and talent points. Bear in mind, if you still lack Realgar to buy something, basically when you're watching this video today, which is now Wednesday. So tonight, well, tonight, this morning, coming morning, so at 4 o'clock in the morning on Thursday basically, because the update is as Thursday at 10 o'clock. 4 o'clock at Thursday, you're going to get your Realgar from your weekly as you always get. So bear in mind that you might still get Realgar from that if you are lacking to buy something that you want to buy, right? Just so you know that's out there. Make sure you empty the Realgar so you buy still what's there left to buy, because your Realgar will be gone when we get to the new season. They do that so it's fair for everybody, everyone's back on the same progress line. Dominion tools are going to be reset as well. Now I also see that they're going to be removing the work pieces to craft tier 2, such as these, which is very sad because these cost quite a lot to make. But yeah, so these are kind of useless as well. Now this is for 30.0 again, exclusive. Gear from this season is still viable for 13.0 up to halfway blue. So this gear is still very relevant to use in the green patch, and in the blue patch about halfway there's going to be a hotfix. I'll put the link in the description to that hotfix as well, where they will announce that they are adjusting the stats and vigor from our old gear, so they're gonna nerf it, and it's going to make the new gear from 13.0 relevant again, so that you know that as well. If you can still craft some gear that you still need, go for it. It's going to help you a long way in the new patch. Again, when 30.0 comes, or any big season, sorry, comes, it's universal again. They're going to be locking down PvE raiding for about, well, basically for the whole green layer duration, which is usually about 2 to 3 weeks. It's never as long as a normal. This is kind of the trial period, that's what I call it. It gives people the time to catch up on the new storyline, to level up to the max level, and do that same thing for all your reincarnations, so that you can be prepared for the big season when blue comes. So Nihaz will be locked, Observatory will be locked, and that's about it, I believe. Maybe Guildkeeper too. It's probably going to explain to us later. But so you know that in the green patch, it's kind of the boring patch for the tryharders, because it's more of a casual trial period. Yeah, people can get back into the game, they can learn on a slow pace, they can get their reincarnations up to date, all the characters, etc. So there's not much to do, but there's also a lot you can do if you like to, so that you know that. For artifacts, they're going to be adding 2 new artifacts. This is 30.0 exclusive. Now the artifacts are explained in the description, but I'll show them on the screen here, probably getting some information from the Russian server so that you guys will be aware what's gonna come here. They will also finally hotfix the fact that you can bank artifacts, because right now it's impossible to bank artifacts, as you can see. In 13.0 that should be possible. They do some bug fixing. They also changed the mechanics of the PvP artifacts. These will now, as they were working only in Battlegrounds, Dominions and 3v3s, they will also work now in KOE, in Al Rihat, and in the arenas. So the Dovograd arena, Jipet arena, every arena, they're gonna work there as well, because they're kind of PvP zones, PvP areas, and that's only logical. So PvP and PvE artifacts will work on those locations, which is pretty nice. That's very good. I like that. More stuff they remove, so Dust of Creation, Gift of Dreams, etc., which is Dream Elixir. So everything that has to do with your God's Legacy will be removed. Unfortunately, they will also fully reset your God's Legacy artifact, so that's going to be gone. They will give some alternative currency as some kind of a reward for you having gotten it to X amount of level, but the currency you will get in return is going to be much less than the currency you got when we went from 11.0 to 12.0. So to show this real quick, so people that had their God's Legacy, it had a different name back then, I already forgot it. No, it was not God's Legacy, sorry. So depending on which level your artifacts were back then, you would gain a currency as a reward for having reached X amount of level. Now for these you were given achievements as well, and that's here. Artifact collector. So there's in total 3 achievements that we're gonna give. It was for the cross, the aspis, and something else, I guess. It was the top 3 artifacts you had at level 10, because these were very expensive to craft, and then you would get titles based on these, and if you had 3 you had another title, etc. And so the point is that these artifacts were fully removed, but you got a currency, and you could then use the currency here, which was back then called Fate Elixir, and you could use it on this vendor to buy some luxuries, I guess. Now potions were very helpful. There were tools, there were these things. This is very helpful as well. But what helped a lot on pay to play, because I know that was kind of a pay to win move, but it's not pay to win, but you know what I mean, is that you could just buy these blanks once a week. So when I buy one, they are gone, but then they reset. They kind of refill the vendor every week. But you're not going to receive the well, you're going to receive this currency again. It's going to be a different currency. It's going to be much less than we have gotten before, and you won't be able to buy these upgraded anymore. So they removed them as well, because they have seen that people that had access to this vendor with this currency had a big benefit compared to other players, because they could save a lot of gold that way. They were bound, by the way, so we couldn't resell them, but we didn't have to spend the gold or effort crafting work pieces to get up our gear, because we could just use this currency we had gotten before. As you can see, I still have a ton of these, and I have no idea what to spend them on. So patch is about to come, and I don't know what to buy. It's all useless stuff for me. But yeah, so that's there. So your God's Legacy will be removed, you'll get currency instead, and you'll be able to spend it on this vendor here. It's also in Astral Academy, and you can just buy these potions and buffs, and that's about it. No more blanks, no more work pieces. So about this currency again, actually, so what they're gonna do is that you see here, it's called Fate Elixir. When the Season of Dreams Season 12 ends, it will dissipate, it will disappear. Now they're going to replace this by another currency, and that currency you will get for having the Gifts of the Jinn. That's a very wrong translation, I'm assuming. So all the Dream Elixir you still have right now, so I have here 87k, that's going to be converted in the currency that you will get, that you will need for that vendor. Same for the Gift of Dreams, that's probably that one, also gets converted for the currency. So all the currency that has to do basically with your legacy, God's Legacy, will be converted. So all your Gift of Creation will become the currency. All your Gift of Dreams will simply disappear, no compensation. All your Dream Elixir will turn into the compensation as well. So if compensation, I mean alternative currency that you can spend at the vendor I had just shown you guys. Everything else will simply disappear. And God's Legacy will also become your alternative currency. Then for this patch exclusive, they will add about 6 old dungeons to the normal Astrals. So just dungeon and you go with Go Astral. They added 6 old ones, like very old ones that were around level 51 patch, back to the game. So your Astral daily whatever stuff that you do going Astrals will have more variety. For people that haven't kept up with the information that are published on the official Allods website, Melting Island is coming back to the game, albeit slightly adjusted, etc. Now I'd suggest you to take a read through the Melting Island post on how it works and what exactly changed, etc. But they're going to be posting more updates about it, I suppose, because they kind of just introduced it back to us as like, hey guys, we're bringing it back. And that's about it, so not really technical information about it. From what I know from Russian servers, it's going to be used a lot for getting tier 3 items. Considering the much lower population we have on European servers, people are going to have a much easier time on gearing up, whereas on the Russian servers it's kind of a zerk right now. So there's that. So there's Melting Island, and it's going to be relevant to get gear because it's going to yield the highest level of gear possible, which is tier 3 gear. There's going to be a lot of class balances and class adjustments happening for this patch, so this is 30.0 exclusive. There's just so much that is happening, it's a waste of time for me to go through them, so I'll just again check the description for the link. You can go through the update there. I don't know why this is not posted on the European mediums yet. But yeah, so you hear it here first, and I guess you can get the link in the description, and it's going to give you an update of all the changes to the classes that they have done as well. It's a very good change. They kind of balance out all the classes. Everything becomes kind of equal. Now, sadly, the Metallurgist is going to be the weaker class of all here, but for PvP, everything is still very relevant. Psy gets a very good damage buff. Druid gets a very good damage buff. A lot of classes are going to be equal again, so I like that. And there's not going to be any more NG/priest meta. It's going to be very nice. What else can you do before the patch? That is your currencies. So take a look through your currencies basically. You can press K and go to rewards, and here you'll see a lot of currencies you own. Now what they're going to do is they're going to remove all the combat emblems. They say they're going to compensate it with gold. I don't know at what the ratio of gold they're going to compensate it with. I don't know if you're going to get more gold by leaving your rewards as it is, or if it's better for you to go trade in the gold for the gold tokens. I can't really tell. It's gambling, I guess. So there's that. Now I'm gonna buy them to be sure, but we'll see how that's gonna end up with. Blessing of the Dragons is going to be resetting as well. Now, Blessing of the Dragons was a currency you needed to get these artifacts, Dragonic Blessing, and Dragonic Blessing was a currency you got every single week depending on how high your rank was. So your highest rank for me is 3v3v3, 1161. At every weekly reset I would get 1161 in my rank here, and that's how it worked. So that's gonna get reset, that's normal, nothing you can do with that. I would not buy any Dragonic Relics because these ones will become easy obtainable. These are basically becoming the secondary ones, and there's gonna be a new type to be collected, I assume, from this vendor and from Nihas raid. These ones currently are going then to be easily obtainable from observatory raids, from and then from every other vendor in the game, such as Irene vendor, the Suslanger Djinns, the Batagrons, artifacts, Dragonic Relics as well. So these will be completely removed because they're quite outdated, and then the ones from the 3v3 vendor move to BG vendor, much easier to obtain, so that is not a problem. So show you know that as well. They'll be resetting, of course, the ratings for compass, so flying compass and teleporting compass. They'll see who got which spot and they'll reward you accordingly. What they will remove is apparently the insignias, so all your insignias will be gone. Now I don't remember they ever reset, but I'm assuming we'll just go with what they wrote here on the Russian update. So they'll remove all your insignias, all the compasses that you have as well, so all your compasses no matter level will disappear. So I would say if you want to change the ratings still quickly, you want to get in those top spots. I made a video by the way about compasses, so take a look at that in the top right corner. But if you want to still kind of try to squeeze yourself in the top ranks, then today is the day you want to do it. Now for people that are not aware, a quick recap. The ratings are giving you a lot of monster heads, and with monster heads basically you can buy lots of vanity. For the power horse of you, what it really is about is basically, it's always been about the Dream Elixir in this case. Now before it was Fate Elixir, I'm not sure what name they're gonna give it next patch, but it's always been about this currency. This is the currency you need to upgrade your God's Legacy. Quick recap on that: God's Legacy is simply going to be reset, and we'll have to make it again. So they're gonna change the name, but the mechanics remain the same. We'll have to just make this one again from scratch. You need this currency a lot. It's gonna be much harder to get as well because they're going to nerf the amount of combat emblems you get from 3v3s and 6s for both training and rating. So it's gonna be taking a longer time to get the currency and buy these, because that's the main source. It's to get them from the 3v3s. So monster heads are going to be a big boost in your artifact growing, and usually when they give these Tournament of Blood events, so put this in your mind, Tournament of Blood events, they would have rewards that would increase the amount of Dream Elixirs. I'm calling it Dream Elixirs now because that's what it is now, but next patch is going to be a different called currency. and the Tournament of Blood would give an item, usually it was on level 100, that would enhance the amount, would modify the amount of Dream Elixirs you would get for the same currency. So you would get a boost. Same for buying it from 3v3 vendor, same for buying it from any source. And that is where the monster heads come in. They're a big power boost when you have those multipliers active. So that's basically what it's about. Why you would want to get in top rank is to get an advantage with your god's legacy. For people that were top ranks in the previous season, we will lose our potions. We will lose our tanking potions, and we will lose our invisibility potion as well. The one that makes us see invisible players for a long time. Was really good for 3v3s and PvP, so that's going to be removed. Don't worry, if you're in the top, I believe 24, you will get them again. A big thing for people that are still not aware about the mazes. Mazes are going to get a full reset as well, so all the gold you basically have invested this season in your maze is going to go to the gods. They'll just disappear. Your maze gets completely reset and nothing carries over, so your maze is going to be gone. Depending on your rating that your maze is right now, again a link for that if you want to see which maze your rating is at, you can click the link in the description and see and find your name among the difficulties. So if you have low difficulty, you simply gain some box of supplies, which is what you simply buy in the private outlet so that your traps and auras can work. If your maze was normal difficulty, you get the right to destruction. Now I have an example of that in my bank. So right on destruction is an item that you get. There's different varieties of this. This is the one that you get for normal difficulty. These are basically items that make you reroll your rooms when you make them in your maze to get a better or different combination than the one you have. For example, when you open a room and you get like a spot with full greens, you can just use these items to reroll it, and you might get, as seen here, 2 epics together, one epic with 1, 2 or 3 blues, or you get one epic with 2 to 5 greens. So that's really what it says. So people that have normal difficulty, you will get one of these. People with a high difficulty maze are going to get 3 of these. People with nightmare difficulty are getting more of both, and people with the highest difficulty are getting more even of both the versions, because there's another version of this one. I believe it's the one that gives you a legendary for sure, guaranteed, so that's pretty good. And it's going to give you a item that gives you the title as well, at saying Dungeon Keeper. Everything else is reset. Your levels are reset. The quality of your maze is reset. So it's simply, basically, when you upgrade your maze, it's for this. It's for the rewards. It's for the title. That's all you really make your maze good for and invest your maze for. Or it's because you hate players and you want them to fail in your maze. That could also be. Moss will be reset as well, so people that were being in the top spots in Moss rating and they were the top whatever, you would get every week a small amount of this currency. Now because of the season ending, you're gonna get a lot more. If you're top 6, you get 1000. If you're top 12, you're getting 800, I believe, and so on and forth until you don't get anything. And you can use it to buy these costumes or mount skins. Next I want to talk about Astral. There's going to be some changes for Astral as well. Right now we have generation level 33, so your ship and your devices are level 33. That's going to be reset to level 9. So yeah, everything will get reset to level 9. That's going to be the current level as well, I believe, of the first season. Basically, ship seasons is every 2 mini seasons of gear. So green and blue is the first season of ships, then epic and legendary is the second, and then there's fabled and relic, which is the last generation. So all your level 33 generations are going to be reset to level 9, I'm assuming. Now I'm assuming no matter what level you have on your ship right now, as you can see here, it's level 33 as well. Everything is going to become level 9, so it's a full reset for people that want to build a ship. It's a good time to begin because it's a fully reset. What they will remove is your particles of anomalous matter. This is a good one for people that do anomalous on a frequent basis. Make sure that you buy what you want to buy, because they'll convert them to decaying particles of anomalous matter. Now, what is decaying particles of anomalous matter? That is a currency that is not obtainable at all through the game, except for these big seasons, and you can convert them here. So the last option, this is decaying particles of anomalous matter. I don't know how this works for free to play, but for pay to play, you can buy the Fury as decaying right now. I believe, and this is unconfirmed, but I have a hinge that that's how it works. Every time there's a big season happening, which is coming to tomorrow, they will switch this mount with the mount in the current vendor. So in the current vendor, you can buy the Fox for normal particles, and for the old shop, there's the Fury. I'm assuming that they're gonna switch these two mounts when the patch comes. I have a hunch about it. I don't know why. I just believe this is a thing. So if you wanna get a Fox in this situation, if you still wanna get the Fox, make sure to buy it now, because it's going to go into decaying next season, and you won't be able to get decaying, right? So make sure you spend your particles on whatever you want. You could buy. What I will do is I got full gold particles here into nuggets, sorry, and then I buy with the nuggets the gold symbols. So you get gold out of your particles. Basically, from calculations I did, it's about almost basically 3k gold per particle of anomalous matter. That's your ratio. Your emanations of mysterious Astral as well, so there's another currency here, which is this one's emanation of mysterious Astral is going to become emanation of unexplored Astral, because you cannot explore it anymore, so they turn it into unexplored, and that is these ones. And these are the ones that you need to buy the costume, the Astral and Astronaut costume. Funny fact is that Astral Traveler is the Astral holiday celebration, basically the day where Giverlings invented Astral Travel. That was on 12 April. For Elite it's called Astral Traveler, and for Empire it's Astronaut. So this costume has a name of both factions, but it's a full set, so that's a funny fact. What else they will do is, again, the same with Comet Emblems. All the nuggets you own is going to be converted into gold. Again, I do not know at what ratio that is. I do know that gold symbols kind of scale with your level, so maybe we'll get more gold when you level 100 next season. But I cannot tell you if they're gonna give gold according to your current level, which doesn't matter then. But yeah, I'm assuming they're gonna do it because they assume that a lot of people are going to forget they have this currency. Then again, I just made these videos to be sure for people that are following and watching that they're up to date. Same happens for the transforming crystals. So the crystals you need to put your devices into your ship, you need transforming crystals that you can buy here. Apparently these are becoming gold as well. So you could basically fully buy this stuff here with your currency and get gold that way. I'm assuming also as well the highest. I'm not sure if it matters which level, but that might be a good way to spend your currency on to get gold. And then ship hull fragments, which is what you need to upgrade your ship hull, is also going to become gold. Remember guys, another important thing is your Trial of Blood. Trial of Blood is tomorrow your last day to do Trial of Blood, which is here. Order. Make sure you do rating version, and good luck on getting a good score, because this is going to be locked for a while as well after the season, because it's not the normal reset day. The normal reset day is every 2 weeks on a Monday. Tomorrow is going to be Thursday, sorry. So normally it will be probably closed from that Thursday to next Monday. That's about everything there is to know about the new season is gonna come and what you might want to be updated on. There's nothing written about Irene currency or your other currencies, so I'm not sure what happens with that. I'm assuming they won't touch it, same for Ambrosia. I'm assuming if they don't write anything about it, they're not gonna touch it, so everything else should be safe. Same for Amber, your Dragonic emblems. I guess that's going to remain as it is. That's a pretty good vendor too. So Irene currencies remains as it is. Fatrexer gets removed. That's gonna disappear. 1.5 million, that's sad. Yeah, everything else remains. KV emblems. I believe they're gonna transform that into gold as well. but there's nothing written about it, so I have no idea on that matter. Yeah, so that's about it. I hope this video was helpful, guys. I hope this is gonna save you a few things when we get into big season. See you guys on the other side. See you guys in Eden. Have a good game, guys, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.